Another year, another need for an update. Wrestling rosters change so much month to month that this video will most likely be obsolete by May, but they are still pretty good for newcomers. Stardom currently has 5 factions: Stars, Oedo Tal, Donna del Mondo, Queen's Quest, and Cosmic Angels. There are only 2 wrestlers who have not pledged their allegiance to a faction, and I'll cover them at the end. Stars is Stardom's main face faction, with all of their most popular wrestlers bundled into one group. Since every other faction is either a heel group or a tweener group, Stars stands out for their bright and sparkly costumes and personality. Mayu Iwatani is the leader and founder of Stars, creating it when she joined forces with Tam Nakano after Tam was forced to leave her previous faction. Mayu Iwatani is the icon of Stardom, regularly being considered one of the best wrestlers today. She is known for her insane bumping and selling ability. Her finisher is the 2-step dragon suplex, but she has many other moves that are finishers as well. She utilizes a moonsault, a tombstone pile driver, and a modified dragon sleeper. Jungle Kyona was previously the founder of her own group, Jungle Assault Nation. After being forced to disband, she was recruited by Hana Kimura for the, at the time, newly created faction, Tokyo Cyber Squad. After being betrayed by her partner Konami, Jungle Kyona was forced to disband TCS as well. Jungle is Stardom's perpetual underdog, being someone almost universally loved, but never getting the big win. There are rumors of her changing her gimmick back to her Jungle persona upon her return from injury. She is currently on the bench with 3 serious injuries, all needing surgery. It is looking like the surgeries were all a success and she is in recovery and set to return this year. Her finishers include the Jungle Buster, Scorpion Deathlock, and the Hammer Throw Powerbomb. Starlight Kid is pretty much Stardom's mascot. She is small, cute, and kid-friendly. She is the only masked wrestler in Stardom, and many things about her is unknown. Some info has been leaked over the years, but officially nothing is known about her personally. Starlight Kid has, until recently, been designated to wrestling with the low card and being on top of them. It wasn't until 2020 that she has been brought into the main roster, essentially, stepping up and becoming Mayu's left hand. Out of the revolving door of seconds from Mayu, Starlight Kid is the latest and seems to be taking it very seriously. Her finishers include a rounding moonsault, cross-legged fisherman suplex, and the recently upgraded diving moonsault press. She had been doing it off the second rope up until recently, where she has started doing it off of the top rope. Saya Iida has vastly improved in 2020, resulting in her even winning a title belt. She is the smallest member on the roster, standing at 4 foot 9 inches, but she is essentially the strongest member of Stars. She has become a beloved member of the roster because of her hard work, look, and willing to use her look to her advantage. Being called a gorilla by her opponents before adopting it herself and becoming Gori-chan, Stars Gorilla. Her finishers are the Itabashi and the newly added Brainbuster, an actual Brainbuster. I've noticed in wrestling that a lot of people call a regular standing suplex a Brainbuster, but Saya Iida does it correctly. Ruka is currently one of the youngest members of Stars. She used to be one of the largest members of the roster until the new influx of wrestlers the last couple of years. She is still pretty large amongst the roster, but it's less unique now. Her being Stars' designated rookie means she hasn't been a part of any storylines or feuds in 2020, so there isn't much to say about her. She is steadily improving, but she has progressed much slower than her peers. Her notable moves include a big boot and a fisherman suplex. Hanan is 1/3 of what I call the Hanan sisters. She is the oldest and the only member of Stars out of the 3. She is currently out of action with her 2 sisters because of personal family issues. She is about the same age as Ruka and fights using her judo experience. Her moves include most judo moves and a Northern Lights suplex. Gokigen Death is the last member of Stars and the only non-Stardom signed member in the faction. Her ring name outside of Stardom is Kaori Yoneyama, a veteran in the business. When she was a part of Tokyo Cyber Squad, she was possessed by a demon because of a spell performed by TCS. She became Death Yama-san, but once TCS was disbanded and she joined Stars, they performed magic to transform her into this more friendly looking version called Gokiken Death. She is one of Stardom's spoilers, so who she can beat really is everyone, but she isn't very high on the card, so she can be beaten by everyone as well. Her most notable move is the O'Connor roll. Oedo Tal is Stardom's designated heel group. They are vicious and dangerous, but they don't care as much about official wins as wanting to get a personal win over their opponents. They have 6 members with 2 out of action, 2 are big cheaters, and the other 2 rely more on their hard-hitting vicious styles to damage their opponents. Oedo Tal used to be more fun and goofy before the new leadership. A lot of their matches end in DQ, which has become something of an annoyance to some fans. Natsuko Tora is the current leader of Oedo Tal, taking the reins after Kagetsu decided to retire from wrestling. Up until becoming the leader, Natsuko Tora has spent almost her entire career as the second hand of Jungle Kyona. Fed up with always losing and being good, she betrayed Jungle and joined Oedo Tal when she was drafted. Since becoming the leader, Natsuko Tora has picked up the philosophy that if she isn't going to win the match anyway, might as well do it on her own terms and get herself DQ'd. She has her signature metal chain that she uses to hit and hang her opponents. Since her taking over, we have seen an insurgence of no rules matches that were previously non-existent in Stardom. Her finishers include the Ascension and the Merishiten and the Diving Guillotine as well. Saki Kashima used to be in Stars and was one of the many second hands to Mayu Iwatani. She, like every other current member of Oedo Tal, betrayed her old faction and joined them. After a lengthy feud with Natsu Sumire, she showed her true colors. Saki is another spoiler of Stardom, getting big wins over the tops of the promotion, but not really a threat to any title. Her personality is a little flat in comparison to the rest of the roster, but there are few as crisp in the ring as she is. Her head scissors takedown is a thing of beauty. Her finishers include My Emblem and Kishi Kasai, or the Revival as it used to be called. Konami is one of the best technicians in Stardom. She is the cold ice style compared to Shuri's hot fire style. Konami will dismantle you and look completely in control the entire time. She is the one and only disciple of WWE's Asuka, and it shows, using a lot of the same moves and having a pretty similar style. Konami has been in 4 different factions throughout her career in Stardom, each change being the result of a draft pick, except for the last one when she betrayed TCS to join Oedo Tal. While most of the time she is in the background while other more charismatic people take the spotlight, she has her moments of just absolute weird. You can be sure that she will most likely lick a title belt or 2. Her finishers include a buzzsaw kick, a triangle armlock, and her ultimate, the Triangle Lancer. Bea Priestley should be the most known wrestler in this video, with her having been a part of AEW and now New Japan Pro Wrestling as well. She has been a mainstay in Stardom for years, and after a rocky start, has become one of the best performers in their ring. She is the only foreigner to be signed to the promotion, and for a good reason. She used to be in Queen's Quest, but after betraying them and joining Oedo Tal, she has all but transformed. She is one of the 2 Oedo Tal members who don't rely on cheating to win, as she is a formidable opponent, being an ex-World of Stardom champion. You might recognize her as being Will Ospreay's chauffeur in New Japan, as they are a real-life couple. She has since been laid off by AEW because of the coronavirus, since she couldn't come wrestle in America and her main promotion is in Japan. Her finishers include the Plan B, Kamigoye, and Queen's Landing. Natsu Sumire is the only non-signed member of Oedo Tal and the only one not to be a traitor to another group. Being brought into Stardom at Oedo Tal by previous leader Kagetsu, she has since been the only constant member since joining. She is a comedy wrestler, but is actually surprisingly essentially a veteran. She has been wrestling almost as long as Azumi has, making her one of the most experienced wrestlers in Stardom. Her standing in Stardom is in question, as it seems Stardom is wanting more exclusive talent, and since Sumire is not signed, she might not be returning. She has been out with injury for the majority of 2020. Her finishers include the Misaki Special. She is also known for her Bronco Buster in the corner. Rina is one of the 3 Hanan sisters, being of the twins. She is the twin of Hina, and she has been in 3 factions since her debut. After betraying Stars after the dismantling of TCS, she joined Oedo Tal and has become the youngest Oedo Tal member. She, like her sisters, uses a lot of judo moves, but she has also incorporated a lot of moves from the late Hana Kimura. Her finishers include a modified Northern Lights suplex and the hydrangea. Donna del Mondo is the second newest faction in Stardom and currently the most dominant. There are no weak links in this faction, as all of them are protected at the expense of the rest of the roster. They are currently one of the most popular groups in the promotion, having many wrestlers who bring fans to the stands. They also all share the attribute of training and debuting outside of Stardom. Giulia is the leader and founder of Donna del Mondo. Some might recognize her from her stint in Ice Ribbon, where she used to wrestle. She was previously in a controversy over how she switched promotions, that many felt she acted irresponsibly. She was pushed up to the top of the promotion almost from day one and has been there ever since. Her finishers include Glorious Buster, Glorious Driver 2, Glorious Driver 3, and the Stealth Viper. Shuri is an absolute monster. She is the best technical wrestler in Stardom. While Konami is cold and calculating with her fighting style, Shuri is fire and intensity. She can dismantle you in a million ways, then kick your head off. Shuri used to team and work with WWE's Asuka quite often years ago, so you know she picked up some skills. She used to be an MMA fighter, holding a pretty impressive record in Japan and even participated in UFC. Out of all of the DDM members, Shuri seems to be the one everyone accepts being incredibly dominant on the roster. She also holds a special spot in that she is one of the only wrestlers with cross-faction relations. Every faction bar Oedo Tal has one or many members who respect and act friendly towards her. Her finishers are Suzaku, Buzzsaw Kick, and the Blue Dragon. Micah is DDM's rookie, but you wouldn't be able to tell. She has gotten wins over top card mainstays in Stardom. She is essentially high mid-card or low top card minimum. She is a mix between power wrestler and a technical wrestler. She studied and practiced judo for many years before joining wrestling. She trained and debuted in Taka Michinoku's promotion Just Tap Out. Her transition seems on the surface to have been amicable. Since joining Stardom, she has steadily found herself, and while she is still mostly bland charisma-wise, she has improved a lot and her look is one of the best in Stardom. Her finishers include Enka Otoshi and the Sazanka. Himeka used to be Stardom's giant. Previously wrestling for Actress Girls, she was actually incredibly popular and was set to be one of their top talent. She decided to leave and become a freelancer, but was convinced by Giulia to sign to Stardom instead. She disappeared for months and came back looking like a completely different person. She lost a ton of weight and had relit the fire that many people thought she had lost. While she isn't the tallest in Stardom anymore, she is still the largest. With a combination of height and weight, she is a formidable foe, easily overpowering almost everyone in Stardom whenever they have tests of strength. Her finishers include the Argentine Backbreaker, JP Coaster, and the Running Powerbomb. Natsupoi is the last member to join DDM and is their high-speed wrestler. She is incredibly fast and agile. There are many different types of high-speed wrestlers, and she is the acrobatic variety. You can expect to see her pulling out some of the most flashy moves of each show. As of right now, she hasn't really shown any personality other than cute petite woman that is common in the idol scene. I feel that will change over the year, so look forward to that. She debuted in Actress Girls as well, but she was wrestling for Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling before she signed to Stardom. While she is an outsider, this isn't her first time in Stardom. She was participating in Stardom back in 2016 under the command of Azumi in Azumi's army. Her finishers include the German Suplex and Backlash. Queen's Quest is the young faction, having their oldest member being in their early 20s and their youngest being 13. Queen's Quest was created by Io Shirai, who you might recognize from her current stint in WWE's NXT promotion. This faction used to be the ultimate tweener group, with everyone looking out for themselves, and you were expected to carry your own weight. It ran under the guise that every member was equal and no one had seniority or power over anyone else. This has died off over the last 2 years, especially after Io Shirai left. They are now the group of young women who are goofy dorks in their private life and can go with the best of them in the ring. Momo Watanabe is the current leader and one of the founding members of the faction. She made her name with her legendary Wonder of Stardom title run, especially since it was right after Io Shirai and she had large shoes to fill. Lately, she has been pushed aside by the company, focusing more on new wrestlers and outsiders. She was once considered Stardom's new ace after Io. The validity of that still being in effect is unknown. If you are a newcomer and come across Momo Watanabe fans, but you don't understand the love, it's because we know what she is capable of and what she has done. Unfortunately, even the most hardcore Momo fans have begun to lose faith that Stardom has not abandoned her, with many new instances of her getting passed up on opportunities and her not being in the main event picture seriously in over 2 years. Her finishers include Tequila Sunrise, Samato, B-Driver, and her ultimate, the Peach Sunrise. Azumi is the commander of Queen's Quest and has been hinted at being the actual leader behind the scenes. She is also the youngest, not counting Hina, but also the most experienced. She was a part of the first graduating class in Stardom along with Kairi Hojo, who you might know as Kairi Sane during her stint in the WWE and NXT. Azumi is QQ's high-speed wrestler. She considers the high-speed style the best and wishes to bring it to a legit level. She unfortunately has had her title run with the high-speed belt tainted by the coronavirus, so she hasn't had the best run. She has also been on the forefront of working with other promotions, being one of the few who seem okay with acknowledging the other promotions in Japan. Her finishers include a diving foot stomp and the Azumi Sushi. Utami Hayashishita is the power wrestler of QQ. She is also a super rookie who has been pushed to the top card from day one. While her skills are impressive, it's clear that her fame from before wrestling helped make the decision on her push. She is still green in many aspects, but she really shines in presence. She looks like someone who should be on top, and it's only a matter of time until her wrestling ability and promo skills match. She has held a total of 5 belts since her debut about 2 years ago, most of those happening in the first year. She was prone to injury in the beginning of her career, but she seems to have gotten out of that bad luck streak and has been fine health-wise for a while now. Her finishers include a torture rack bomb, a German suplex, and the spinning crucifix power bomb. Saya Kamatani is the newest wrestler in Queen's Quest and by far the flashiest. She is the high flyer of the group, one of very few in Stardom. One of the most common criticisms against her is that she seems very reckless, trying very dangerous moves before she has even mastered the previous one. Although she can be reckless, she isn't as bad as some people online would make you believe. Most of her botches were minor, and some of the botches turned out to just not be botches at all, and were just poor camera angles. She is fast becoming a name in the Joshi world by being a trailblazer in moves that haven't been seen done by Joshi in a very long time, if not at all. Her finishers include the running shooting star press, star crusher, and her ultimate, a phoenix splash. Hina is the last of the Hannon sisters and the other half of the twins. She is the most shy of the 3 sisters, having the hardest time coming out of her shell, but since joining QQ she has vastly improved in the ring. She hasn't added any new moves in quite a while, but she has been perfecting the few moves she does do. Look out for her upon her return because you can expect her to be a great wrestler in a couple of years when she graduates high school. Her finishers include a ghetto clutch and a ripcord judo throw. Cosmic Angels are Stardom's newest faction. Being created by Tam Nakano after betraying and splitting off from Mayu Iwatani and Stars. They are too new to really know how well they are going to do, but things don't look great for them. With one of their 3 members getting an injury with a 2-month recovery time, and with them being on the losing side immediately after getting a title. They haven't been booked very strong since they won the artist titles, but hopefully this isn't a sign for things to come. Tam Nakano is the founder and leader of Cosmic Angels. Tam is one of the best wrestlers out there, as she is able to masterfully combine great hard-hitting matches with intense and emotional storylines. She has been a part of the best stories over the last 2 years, and she is showing no signs of slowing anytime soon. Originally starting out in Actress Girls, and going on to do death matches, she has not had any major wins since joining Stardom. With her setting out to create her own group and tackle the hardships that come with that, she may well be someone to watch out for in 2021 in one of the singles titles. Her finishers include Violet Shooting, Doden Tam, and the Tiger Suplex, and Twilight Dream. Mina Shirakawa is an H-Cup Gravure Idol wrestler. Coming from a Gravure Idol background, she wants to show that she can be a great wrestler like her idol, Yuzuki Aikawa. She was recruited by Tam Nakano after her contract ran out in Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. She is currently out with a broken nose and will miss the beginning of the year. She is still relatively new to wrestling, so while she isn't the best wrestler out there, you can tell she is working hard on improving. She is a proficient English speaker, busting out the English in promos and when advertising merchandise to the foreign market. Her finishers include Implant DDT, the GSS, and the submission move, Attention Please. Unagi Sayaka, formerly Unagi Himawari, of Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, also was recruited by Tam Nakano after her contract ran out. She is the weak link of the group, being the most obviously green in the ring compared to the other two. She also comes from a gravure idol background, having extremely risque gravure movies. She wishes, like Mina, to show that you can be a great wrestler if you work hard. While she is green, she has a very old school moveset that personally is my favorite in Stardom. She is also the instigator of Cosmic Angels, always being the one to start fights with other factions and getting under people's skin online like Starlight Kid. Her finishers include the Dai Fuhen Kitakaishi and Dai Fuhen Gatame. There is only one wrestler who is signed but not affiliated with any group. Riho would have been included in this category, but she seems to have moved on from Stardom, as she has not been booked for the first 2 months of the year, and rumors say she is no longer going to be working Stardom. Lady C is the only non-affiliated wrestler in Stardom. The newest rookie, she has captured the world's eye as she is the tallest active Joshi wrestler. Standing at a whopping 5'10", she towers over every single person in the ring. She has yet to show any kind of favoritism towards any of the factions, but the main thoughts are that she will either go with Queen's Quest or Cosmic Angels. She used to be a home economics teacher but decided to try to be a wrestler. She has had a tough start, missing many of the shows she was scheduled for due to poor conditioning. She has since gotten more consistent and has shown steady improvement. She is the first rookie since the revamping of the hierarchy in Stardom, so it will be interesting to see how she does over the year. She has yet to win her first match, but it looks like her finishers will include Big Boot and the Chokeslam. 2021 is going to be a very interesting year, because it seems that DDM is not going to be leveled out, and everyone who was built up as the future of Stardom has been replaced with rookies or outsiders. I don't think it's realistic to see Momo doing anything again this year. Most likely Utami Hayashishita will be wearing the red belt all year, and Julia is about to lose her white belt in the next coming months, although seeing how they treat DDM, I wouldn't be surprised if she went on to break the defense record Momo holds as well. Saida will most likely hold the future belt for a short while before dropping it to someone like Saya Kamitani, and the artist belts will most likely be on Cosmic Angels for a decent amount of time since they didn't vacate them when Mina got injured. Hopefully things will be more optimistic than how my outro seems to be painting it, but either way, we are going to have another year of great wrestling matches.